It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube.
I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like.
Bro, listen. We out here
what kind of content?
You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's what I say. You don't do what?
That's what I say.
Bro.
That's what I say.
Gene Deal is facing a surge of backlash from Sean Diddy Combs' most loyal defenders after choosing to speak openly. But this time, he's not standing alone. Katt Williams has stepped in publicly, backing Gene, and making it clear he won't be pressured into silence. This isn't the first time rumors have surfaced about critics being intimidated behind the scenes, but those whispers are growing louder as attention swings back to Gene Deal. With tensions rising, alliances forming, and every news statement raising the stakes, the narrative is shifting in real time. Whatever the truth ultimately proves to be, one thing is undeniable. This story isn't slowing down. It's only beginning to unfold.
What did you do to him first inside the courtroom?
Lady.
What did you do to Mr. Gene Deal inside the courtroom right before my eyes? And why did I have to get in your face like this and tell you to step back from him? Why did I have to stand in front of Mr. Deal behind me and tell you to back up off of him?
Because it was two men handling business.
And then what happened? But what happened?
That's for me to know.
But what did you do? So why are you not telling the truth? My name is Candor. I'm transparent. I'm true.
Look how you right here.
C-A-N-D-O-R.
Energy with you, sweetheart. I can't.
But you didn't have the same energy with him when he came outside either.
When he came outside, he left.
Man, get out of here.
He left. He left, yo.
You look like telling somebody to whoop my ass. He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
Roger Bonds, who once served as Sean Diddy Combs' personal security, has dropped a stunning allegation that's sending shockwaves through the narrative. Bonds claims that Diddy ordered his team to target Gene Deal, a charge Gene now says he can corroborate. In a recent video, Gene revealed he's living in a constant state of vigilance, moving carefully, avoiding certain places, and taking deliberate precautions because he fears for his safety. Behind the scenes, speculation is intensifying that pressure is being applied to silence or intimidate those who speak out. Whether these claims are ultimately proven or denied, the message feels unmistakable. Gene Deal believes he's being watched and positioned as a warning to anyone else considering telling their story.
This dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the street. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like? Somebody smacking him around, hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no ass whooping. I ain't took an ass whooping since the fucking doctor spanked me on my fucking ass. I ain't took an ass whooping since my mom and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what an ass whooping look like or feel.
What's unfolding now appears far darker than anyone initially expected. The allegations no longer point to a single dispute, but to what some believe is a calculated attempt to reassert power and send a clear warning to anyone bold enough to speak out. Yet despite mounting pressure and growing reports of intimidation, Gene Deal's stance remains unmistakable. He is outspoken, composed, and unshaken, standing firm with the same resolve that has earned him widespread respect and increasing public support. No matter how intense the pressure becomes or how far that influence may reach, Gene's message is crystal clear. He will not be silenced, he will not back down, and no one will ever control his truth.
I got a booking number. Ben, you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee, and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't gonna tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, you know, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do.
Gene Deal says he sensed this moment coming long ago. For years, he understood that a time would arrive when Sean Diddy Combs' tolerance would thin and the pressure to stay silent would intensify. According to Gene, messages began arriving through intermediaries, urging him to stop talking and let uncomfortable truths remain buried. These weren't casual check-ins. They carried the unmistakable weight of an industry trained to protect its image at any cost. In Hollywood's highest circles, reputations are guarded fiercely, and history shows that dissent rarely goes unpunished. Even Katt Williams has spoken openly about paying a personal price for refusing to fall in line. It's a stark reminder that in this world, honesty isn't just unpopular, it can be dangerous.
You cool, man? How you doing?
I'm cooler than a fan. They took my children from me.
Yeah, I mean,
how terrible is that?
I did want to ask. The cops, allegedly found some guns and.
Yeah, they always find guns. I never leave without. My girlfriend. I'm on the middle of an interview, sir.
Sorry about. They found guns and drugs. Now, is
drugs?
That's what it was reported.
Sir, you can look at my paperwork. There was no drugs. Weed is not a drug.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep this kid safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it.
No,
right?
This is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office, not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be the most terrible black.
According to Roger Bonds, the pressure on Gene Deal didn't start recently. It allegedly traces back to 2008, long before any federal scrutiny entered the conversation. By that point, Gene had already begun speaking about what he claims to have witnessed behind the scenes. The behavior, the control, and the secrets Sean Diddy Combs was determined to keep buried. Insiders suggest that's exactly why Gene ultimately walked away. He knew too much, and that knowledge made him a liability. Yet despite years of alleged pressure and intimidation, Gene Deal has refused to retreat, continuing to speak openly about what he knows, no matter how intense the pushback becomes.
He was like, yo, if y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Okay, so when was this? Because was Gene doing interviews at this point?
Yeah, we talking like 2008, 2009. Gene was spreading the word. You know, Gene was always bad-mouthing Gene.
Wait, hold on. Vlad TV started in 2008, 2009. YouTube was really early.
No, he wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. He was going around talking a lot. And we all from Harlem. So he was just talking a lot of and it's a small Harlem
Okay,
is
so
small.
what was Gene Deal saying during that time? What did you hear?
He basically was talking about Puff and woman that was going on with him and Kim. Puff being gay, you know, with him and Usher, shit like that. He was talking the same shit that he's talking now on a major scale, but he was spreading it around Harlem.
Okay.
So it was basically a thing where, yo, if y'all see that, man, I'm telling y'all better hear he got hands put on him, this, that, and the other.
It later emerged that another content creator covering Sean, Diddy Combs, was confronted outside a courthouse by individuals identified as his supporters. According to reports, she was warned that she would be next, a chilling, deliberate attempt to intimidate her into silence. What makes the incident especially alarming is that the confrontation allegedly unfolded in plain view of law enforcement, yet no intervention followed. The message was stark and unmistakable. This intimidation isn't hidden or subtle, and it may reach far beyond what the public has been willing to acknowledge so far.
Dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. So listen, let me just tell you something, right? Because this is an interesting point that Lovely T actually point out. All the people with money, power, influences, Diddy's equal. They refuse to come and support this man because they know something was wrong. But there are a million broke, dusty, desperate men out here trying to bully. Was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tisa Tells, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had 2 armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse was like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Diddy's supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night. Because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay to do whatever you want. Because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough that you can do whatever you want. And 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tisa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. Apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again.
And Gene Deal isn't the only name being drawn into this widening storm. Last year, Jamie Foxx suffered a serious, widely reported medical emergency, an incident that quickly ignited intense online speculation. Some corners of the internet controversially attempted to link that health scare to Sean Diddy Combs, though it's critical to be clear. No verified evidence has ever established a direct connection. What raised eyebrows, however, was the timing. After Foxx later began speaking more openly, reports surfaced that he required stitches following a physical confrontation involving an alleged Diddy supporter. Again, the facts end there. No confirmed motive, no proven orchestration. Yet, when viewed alongside other claims of intimidation, the pattern has fueled growing public unease. Whether coincidence or something more, one theme is becoming hard to ignore. Those who criticize or question Diddy often find themselves surrounded by sudden turmoil. With each new incident, speculation intensifies, questions multiply, and the mystery deepens. leaving many to wonder how far this influence truly reaches and where coincidence ends and concern begins.
Foxx was injured during an altercation at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Foxx is speaking out about the incident, which is being investigated by police. It comes just days after the Oscar winner revealed for the first time that a brain bleed caused him to suffer a stroke last year. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, actor Jamie Foxx is recovering after an altercation at his birthday dinner in Beverly Hills left him needing stitches. Local police received a call about an incident at the high-end Mr. Chow restaurant near Rodeo Drive just after 10 p.m. Friday night. A representative for the actor saying someone from another table threw a glass that hit Foxx in the face. It's unclear whether Foxx was involved in the fight or merely a bystander. No arrests were made, but the investigation remains ongoing. It has already been an eventful month for the Oscar winner. In his recently released Netflix stand-up special, Foxx opened up about the mysterious health crisis that put him in the hospital for several weeks last year.
I was fighting for my life, but I'm here in front of you.
Foxx telling the audience a doctor gave his family a grim diagnosis.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed has led to a stroke.
But now, the actor is proud he beat the odds.
I said I couldn't walk, but look at me now.
And Lindsay, Foxx appears to be keeping this positive attitude through this latest incident, writing on social media this morning, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be..."
It's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the pattern many are pointing to. Time and again, when someone publicly challenges Sean Diddy Combs or revisits the most controversial chapters of his past, turmoil seems to follow. Keefe D, who reignited global attention by alleging Diddy's involvement in the murder of Tupac Shakur, later found himself facing serious threats while in prison, an outcome many observers say did not feel random. His claims of a multi-million-dollar payoff sent shockwaves through hip-hop culture, reopening wounds that never truly healed. While none of these allegations have been legally proven, the recurring cycle of fear, pressure, and fallout surrounding those who speak out continues to unsettle the public. Coincidence or consequence? The question lingers. Why does confronting this history so often come with such a heavy personal cost?
Now on Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, he's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates.
Homie CC, a veteran celebrity security guard, has added a troubling new dimension to the controversy. After publicly criticizing Sean Diddy Combs, he says he experienced a series of unexplained health scares and received what he described as direct threats. Speaking on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Homie CC framed his remarks as personal experience, not proven fact, warning that those who openly challenge Diddy often encounter disturbing consequences. He stopped short of formal accusations, but raised pointed questions about whether the sudden death of Kim Porter was purely coincidental. While there is no evidence, no charges, and Porter's death was ruled natural, his comments have intensified public unease, reinforcing a broader sense of pressure and fear around those who speak out, and underscoring the critical need to separate verified facts from suspicion as scrutiny continues to grow.
Sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide, and you know, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. You know, and these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. You know, it's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, Randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle, no license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. You know, I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, you know, I'm well versed in this world. But you know, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail. And some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs over the years has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. Have I gone to the wrong place? I looked at the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on. Or was that...
Despite escalating threats and mounting pressure, Gene Deal remains resolute and unmoved. In multiple interviews, he has made it unmistakably clear that intimidation, manipulation, or fear tactics, no matter their source, will not silence him. Gene says he's committed to telling the truth, guided by what he personally witnessed, and unwilling to retreat now that public attention is finally catching up. Even confrontations outside the courthouse, widely viewed as attempts to rattle or warn him, have only strengthened his resolve. To Gene, these moments aren't deterrents, they're signs of desperation. And with that clarity, he remains determined to speak openly, stand firm, and ensure his voice cannot be erased.
And God knows I could bodyguard myself with his blessings. I could bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999. High-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Cause niggas do that shit. They'll send something at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal.
Even before the trial officially got underway, Sean Combs was reportedly making behind-the-scenes efforts to silence Gene Deal. According to multiple accounts, while incarcerated, Diddy allegedly had members of his inner circle approach Gene with offers of substantial money in exchange for his silence. But after more than a decade working closely alongside him, Gene says he knows exactly who he's dealing with, and intimidation was never going to work. Instead of backing down, he chose the opposite path, speaking louder and more openly than ever, determined to share what he knows and pursue the truth, no matter who tries to stand in his way.
Get you to stop talking about him.
This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You see him walking the streets in Miami with him. The whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got enough to say. He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, yo, if he wanted, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wanted to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf Mother when he cursed out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough is enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? And that's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, because they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you got to fix that. You know this. Man, God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I don't tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I got to do with my time. Point blank.
You know, do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something? You know, being that he's went after a lot of people. You know, he's
with exposures. You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Reports suggest that Sean Combs has been exerting pressure on anyone bold enough to speak out, fostering an atmosphere of fear designed to suppress dissent. That growing tension is why Gene Deal began receiving warnings from those around him, people who understood the risks of challenging someone with Diddy's reach and influence. Yet despite the cautionary messages and escalating pressure, Gene has refused to retreat. He remains composed and resolute, choosing transparency over intimidation and continuing to speak openly about what he knows, regardless of the forces aligned against him.
Came out to his former bandmate from Dirty Money. She called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about this. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't gonna even get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he want to reach out to you, Gene. He want to speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough?
Just go ahead and move out the country, baby. pack little white guy up, get on out of here. Go protect your family. Cause if you think Sean and he done beat it, and you got 30 out of him, at the least, me personally, at the least, I would get your boyfriend every time somebody see him. Like I wouldn't have to be there. So I'm telling you, if I would do that, I don't know, you know Sean better than me. Cassie.
So you believe that Diddy, he'll try to harm Cassie if he get up?
I think so. I'm not trying to, man, it's hard because I don't know what Sean's getting out. I don't know what Sean is getting out of prison. I don't know if Sean is reformed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Sean gonna get out more arrogant now that you just beat the feds. You see his kids dancing around. They don't look grateful. They look like, yeah, we gonna keep winning. That's not the attitude I would be giving. When I beat my case, when I walked out on my case, I dropped to my fucking knees. I didn't want to be around nobody. I'm happy as shit. I'm not celebrating blowing up in the law face because I know I was just fucking crying, begging God. Nobody was in there with me. I was begging him. So how I look like to get out here and act like some macho hero, like I wasn't just being a little bitch on my knees for my father to save me when nobody else would. So I don't know what P. Diddy getting out. But me, personally, you took 30 million from me, I would advise you to get, I would get out and tell you.
Sean Combs's once untouchable empire is now under sustained pressure as the very voices he's alleged to have silenced are speaking louder than ever. What began as whispers and easily dismissed rumors has evolved into first-hand accounts and growing documentation, turning speculation into serious claims that can no longer be brushed aside. The protective walls that once shielded him are cracking, and the truth is emerging piece by piece. This story is far from over. If anything, it's entering its most critical phase yet. Stay locked in, subscribe, and watch closely, because the next chapter is shaping up to be even more explosive.